Welcome to Math 10 Common Flex, and you've already had a look at the course overview and gotten logged onto Schoology. So this video is to show you how to navigate around the website and the course material. First of all, let's just look at the website. When you first click on or log into Schoology and select from your course drop-down menu, you got to select Math 10 Common Flex. It will bring you to the materials page. Also, on the left side menu, you can click on updates to view any updates that I might post. You can also click on your gradebook or grades to go and view any of your grades. We won't be tracking attendance through this program, but you can also click on members to check out who else is in the class with you. Of course, mine looks a little different than yours because mine is the teacher version of it. In the materials, you'll see under the course overview is the formula sheet that you will be using for the entire course. And then you have your unit folders. So there's 4 units in the course, and it's recommended that you start with Unit 2, and then do 3 and 4, and then back to 1. You can do the units in whatever order you want, as long as you stay within the units, and you do Unit 3 first, and then Unit 4. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see upcoming events and some calendar events. So just keep an eye on those for no school days and important things going on. Let's go and check out how the material is organized. So we're going to click on the Unit 1 folder to see what's in there. Each unit folder will pop up the same way. The first thing you'll see is the unit introduction, and this is just, when you click on that, the overall learning goals for the unit. That's going to be the main topics that you're going to be learning about. Up at the top here, you can click on a link to go back to a previous folder. So if you click on Unit 1, it'll take you back to the Unit 1 folder. If you just click on 10 Common Flex, it'll take you back to the main materials page. After the Unit 1 introduction, you'll see a Unit Project folder. This is to introduce you to the project that you will be working on throughout the entire unit. Each unit has a project, and it's woven in so that you're working on it through the entire, as you're working on all the topics in that unit. So if we click on the project description and website, that'll take us to what the project is about. As you're working through the topics in the unit, there will be cues on the assignment pages and on the student checklists for when you're to work on the projects. Each project has project tasks that you'll work on throughout the unit, and then at the end of the unit, you'll see the final task that you have to complete. Each project has its own website with descriptions and the tasks, questions that you're supposed to do. So if we click on the project website, it will take us there. So here we have the Unit 1 measurement project. You will see that first the home page is a little description of the project. So snoop around in there. Sometimes there's some videos, short little videos to watch. Sometimes there are some things to read or find out more about. So click on the links and look around. Next, you can click on the Final Task tab to see what you're supposed to be doing at the end of the project so that you know where you're going. So you just kind of read some of the information, a little video to watch again, and here is the rubric linked as well. And it's telling you what you're going to be doing. As you're working through the unit, you'll be working on the task connections. Under the Task Connections tab are all of the tasks that you'll be working on. So when you see that you're supposed to work on task number 1, you'll come here and click on task number 1. It will give you the learning outcome and then a link to click on to select the task. Each task is built in Google Slides, so that will have all the questions. When you click on the link, it will take you to the Google Slides, and it will have all the questions that you are completing for that task. Each task is not very big, and they build towards, for the end of the project, when you get to the final task, you will bring all of the little tasks together into the final project. Alright, so back to the Schoology page now. When you've read and looked up about what the project is about, we'll go back to the unit folder. Then you start on your topics. So each topic is arranged the same way and which topics you'll be working on in that unit. Then you'll see the unit project final task. You just click on here, that's where you submit your project. And then there's some Unit 1 extra practice if you need it afterwards. So let's go look at how each topic is organized. You will first see a student checklist and goal sheet. This is one very important resource for you, and you will be required to fill in your deadlines for yourself. Because remember, you're working at this at your own pace. So it's recommended that you complete each topic in about 2 weeks, but you decide when and how that's going to look. So each learner checklist has learning goals for that topic listed at the top. These are the specific things you're going to be learning how to do. Then we have a checklist. So the checklist tells you everything you're going to be completing in that topic by lessons. So in topic 1, lesson 1.1, you'll be doing these practice questions in the textbook. This is where you're going to set your goals of when you're going to complete this by filling in these blanks. Then if you see a unit project connection, that is at the end of, say, lesson 1.2, you're going to go complete task analysis number 1 from the unit project. That's part of lesson 1.2. After that, you'll come to the quiz, and you'll write the topic 1 quiz on Schoology, or on paper, depending on what it says when you click on it, back in the folder. And then lesson 1.3, practice questions. The self-test, each topic has a self-test, and that's basically your review. That's where you can practice all the concepts in the topic and decide which ones you are good to go with and which ones you need extra practice on. Once you feel like you've mastered the material and you're ready for the actual test, that's when you come and see your teacher to write the topic 1 exam. So set up your timeline, and that's what you'll follow through the whole chapter. You'll see that there's a preview of this checklist in Schoology, but you can also download the file and from up there or down here on the PDF link and print it off from there. I recommend that you print this off so that you have that hard copy with you to use. Back to the topic 1 folder, the next thing in the topic is the learning objectives. Alright, so the learning objectives for topic 1, or each topic, just take you to the learning outcomes that were on the checklist are in bold, but it also gives you specific achievement indicators. If you've achieved that outcome, what can you specifically do? So it can be handy to reference these. They are right from the curriculum. The next thing that comes up is probably the second most important resource you're going to have, and that's the concept map for the topic. The concept map is like a mind map on one page of everything you need to know in that topic. You can download the PDF and print it off, use it as a study guide, or use it as a guide to make your own study guide. Back to the topic folder. The Activate Prior Knowledge link, there's nothing in there now, but maybe there will be a mini quiz of things that you've previously learned in math that will be useful to you in this course. After that, we have our lesson folders. When you come to the topic quiz, that's where you'll click on to write the quiz. Any extra practice materials for the topic could be linked under the extra practice. Then there's the self-test, that's where you finish the self-test for the chapter. If there's any written questions, you can scan them off, or take a picture and send to your teacher, or hand them in person. And then when you get to the topic 1 or topic exam at the end, it'll say to see your teacher to write the exam. Alright, now let's look at how each lesson is organized. So we'll click on the lesson 1.1 folder, and this is what you'll see in each lesson. So there's 2 versions of the notes. The first version is one I recommend you print off and do as you're working through the lesson. So the fill-in student notes start off by giving you an overview of the topic, and then they go to the lesson. It'll tell you which textbook pages the lesson corresponds to in the McGraw-Hill Ryerson textbook, learning goals for that lesson, which tutorial videos it links to, so we'll talk about that in a second, and then it starts with the material. Now you'll notice that there's blanks, and they're not filled in. So that's why if you print these off, you can fill them in as you're learning the material. To print them off, download the PDF version of it and print it off. Back to the Lesson 1.1 folder, you have the lesson notes key. These are the same notes as the fill-in notes, but they are all filled in. So it has all the solutions. So we'll scroll down a little bit and have a look. You'll see that it was exactly the same with all of the lesson goals and everything, and then you have your definitions and examples filled in. You'll see it's kind of blurry. If you download the PDF version of it, you will have a nice clear version. This is a preview in this window, so it's not very clear. So if you print these, if you open the PDF, you can have a good clear view of it. These are all your solutions, so you can read these on the computer and as you're reading them, fill them in on your own notes. Writing down your notes will be key to helping you remember the concepts. Back to the lesson folder, you'll next notice that there are links to the tutorial videos. So each lesson notes has corresponding tutorial videos, and it's me explaining the examples. So if you want to go view the videos, that's where you can go to see YouTube videos of those notes. Next comes the lesson assignment. These are the same practice questions that were listed on the student checklist, if for some reason you wanted to check them out there. And then at the end of the lesson is an additional resources link where I have found websites and or other YouTube videos by other people that you can go to for extra help if you need it for that lesson. And that is how each lesson is organized. So to go back to Topic 1 folder, then you can go to the Lesson 2 folder, and you'll see the same links. Back to the home page here. Then you keep working through your units. If you have any questions or about how to use Schoology, or you can't find something, please contact Mrs. Lewis or your other instructors to see and ask your questions. Thank you.